Hey guys, Curly Susie here from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. In today's quick video, I'm going to give you all of my tips for diffusing curly and wavy hair. Yeah. Before I get into the video, I just have to mention two things. The first thing is that I actually air dry my hair a lot, and I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is just, the easiest possible thing to do. Just get out of the shower and let your hair air dry. And I find now that my hair is healthier and I've been wearing my hair curly for so long, I have a pretty good wash and go style, and I really like the definition that I get from air drying my hair. The other thing that I have to mention is that I am aware that using a hotter heat setting on your dryer speeds up your drying time. And for a lot of us, when you use a hotter setting, it makes your curl pattern a little bit tighter, and sometimes you get a bit of a better result. But my long-term goal is to have long, healthy hair, and so I would rather be more gentle on my hair and kind of compromise and use a little bit more of a cool to warm setting. I almost forgot, this video is sponsored, and it is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with literally thousands of classes for creatives. There's classes in illustration, digital art, design, videography, photography, freelancing. There are classes about productivity and marketing and just all kinds of different types of classes for people like you and I who either have a creative hobby or a creative career or kind of a mesh of the two. You guys who have been watching my channel for a long time know that I started this YouTube channel as a hobby, and I started it with my iPhone. Well, since then, I kind of got a little bit more into the video and editing side of it. I mean, I'm all self-taught, but I bought some lighting, I bought a new camera, and I'm really trying to give you guys a better visual to go along with my tutorials. And so I find Skillshare is awesome for me. I've already taken 2 different beginner videography courses, and now I'm taking classes related to marketing. So classes about using my Instagram to my advantage, kind of to complement my channel and how to guide traffic onto my channel and things like that. But you don't have to be an influencer or have a creative career in order to benefit from these classes. I'm somebody who's a lifelong learner. I'm loving learning more about videography and editing and about marketing and social media in general. And so I have been loving these classes. The good news for you is that I'm going to leave a link in my description box, and 1,000 of you will get a 2-month free trial for Skillshare. So again, thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. And without further ado, I'm going to get into the diffusing tips. Tip number 1, and this is especially important if you have hair like mine, which is on like the drier, frizzier side. You really want to make sure that you put enough product in your hair and that your product is evenly distributed throughout your hair. So if you watch my channel a lot, this is going to be like a duh moment for you, but I feel like for me, I have to make sure that I put my products into my soaking wet hair in the shower in order to have enough product to create the hold and the look that I want when I diffuse my hair. So when I'm in the shower, I add either my gel or my styling cream or my mousse or whatever products I'm using into my soaking wet hair, and I really make sure I scrunch my hair up to the roots and let the water help to distribute that product throughout my hair before I diffuse my hair. If you don't evenly distribute the product throughout your hair and you don't scrunch your hair up to the root, I find that I end up with, decent looking hair from here down, and then the top portion of my hair is like really just frizzy and dry looking. Tip number 2, or the second thing that I always do, is I never start to diffuse my hair when my hair is soaking wet. If I don't have time to let my hair air dry a little bit, this is especially important. So one thing that I always do before I diffuse my hair, I don't tend to plop as much anymore, but I do squeeze all of the excess water out of my hair before I diffuse my hair. You can use a microfiber towel or a t-shirt or a flour sack towel, basically whatever you have. And all I do is after I get out of the shower and apply my products, I use that to gently squeeze water out of my hair, and I make sure I do that right up to the root, and that is going to cut your drying time in half. All right, tip number 3 is like my number 1 most important tip ever, And before I tell you that, because I'm kind of going in order of how I do things, I'm just going to show you my hair dryer. This video is not sponsored. This is an inexpensive hair dryer. You do not have to have like a Dyson fancy schmancy hair dryer. I would just recommend, if you are buying a hair dryer, that you pick one that has multiple heat settings. I find diffusing my hair on a cold setting, although it is really gentle on your hair, it doesn't really do anything to speed up your drying time, and I find I don't get the same definition as I do when I use a little bit of heat. But I'm really trying to keep my hair in good shape, so I want to find a dryer that has a high, medium, and low heat setting. I find the cool setting is too cool, but the low heat setting is perfect. And what you want to do is just put it on that low heat setting and take your hand and hold it a little distance away from the diffuser and just see how hot that is. If that is burning your hand, then that's going to burn your hair. So you either want to move it around on your hair a lot more, or you want to back it away from your hair. You really don't want to fry your hair. So just try your diffuser on the low setting, hold your hand up to it, see how hot it is, and go from there. Okay, so here is the tip, and I wish that I could take credit for this, but it's something that I totally stole from Mains by Mel. And it is to always dry your roots first. This has changed my hair life forever. So basically, and she explains it a little bit better in her video, which I will link below, but you want to dry your roots first so that you don't end up with dry, crispy ends and damp, frizzy roots. It just makes a huge difference in your overall hair look, and it's really easy to do. So basically, what I do, I don't tip my head upside down anymore because that gives me kind of a wonky shape. I just use my diffuser a few inches away from my roots, and I gently rotate the hair dryer. In a minute, I'm going to tell you not to touch your hair, or to touch your hair as little as possible, but I have to be honest that I will lift my hair very gently to get into the different areas of the root area, or I will tip my hair to one side, but I always try as hard as I can to dry my roots pretty much completely dry before I dry the rest of my hair. Tip number 4 is to keep your hands out of your hair as much as possible. So when I used to diffuse my hair back in the day, when I used to just get like a huge poofy frizzy mess, I used to scrunch my hair a lot as I was drying it, and I have learned that all that really does is increase the amount of frizz. So try as hard as you can. I mean, you can use your hands to lift up your hair to get to certain areas, or to move pieces around to get the shape you want, but don't be scrunching your hair while you're drying it. Tip number 5. I thought there were only going to be 5 tips, but I think there are going to be 6. Tip number 5 is to keep your styling product handy and have a look at your hair at different phases during the drying time. And I'm just telling you this because sometimes you think that you're applying your product evenly in the shower, or you think that you're applying enough product, and then as you're going through the drying process, you might notice some pieces in the front, or maybe the bottom, or somewhere around the top or the back of your hair, and it doesn't have enough product in it, and it's getting frizzy. So what I will do is, if I have like a clump of hair that as I'm drying it, I notice it's a little bit fluffier than the rest of my hair and a little bit frizzier, I will take a little tiny bit of mousse or gel or cream or whatever I'm using to style my hair at that time, and I will spread it evenly throughout my hands, and I will kind of finger coil those few pieces and then continue to diffuse them. My final tip, and this doesn't really matter if your hair is all one length or if your hair is like super duper long, but if you have a medium length hairstyle especially, and you have a fringe or bangs or layers and things like that, you really want to diffuse your hair in a way that complements the shape. So if you tip your head upside down, which is what I always did, and diffuse all of your hair like that, then you will get a lot of volume at the roots, but when you go upright, you have no control over the way that your hair sits. All right, so I make sure that I'm in front of a mirror, and instead of tipping my head upside down, like I said, I part my hair where I want it to be parted, and I will diffuse my hair so that it falls where I want it to fall. The only exception is that sometimes, to create volume, I will diffuse my head upside down a little tiny bit before I sort of start to style my hair, Or what I do is I will part my hair on the opposite side of my natural part, and I will diffuse my hair until it's pretty much completely dry on one side, and then when I'm all done my style, I will part my hair to the opposite side, and that gives me a little bit more lift and a little bit more volume. All right, that's it. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to follow the link in my description box if you would like to get 2 months of Skillshare for free. If you have any of your own diffusing tips, please leave them in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye. Oh my god, I have to show you guys something. Normally when I shoot these videos, I have like a fancy top on and pajama pants, but I actually put like real grown-up clothes on. Like, look at these. Oh, I got dog hair on them. Cute or what? Keep dancing with the devil, but he doesn't love me.